When Re-animator meets Homer Simpson's worst nightmare, you get Attack of the Killer Donuts. We watch it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is. What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me, my co-host, as always, Mr. Aaron Southworth, sitting here. And also joining us today, he's back once again, Mr. Chris Samples. How you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm not going to go into how I'm doing right now.
You look like Rip Van Winkle's bitch.
Thanks.
You look like you've been sleeping for 12 days after an Ibiza bender.
All right, well, so much for trying to keep that down low for people. All right.
I'm doing great.
What else we got, Chris? What else?
I don't know. He does look.
You've been rode hard and put away wet.
That he does.
By a street-walking prostitute named Jim.
Whoa.
Yeah, you look rough, buddy.
All right. Well,
just Jim? Just out of your ass?
I don't know, yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
Jim. Jim is his name.
all right.
And he fucked you
He
hard.
rode you hard, man.
Yeah,
you look rough.
Well, it's gotta be then Jim from Humor from the Deep, because I don't know any other badass Jims that could do that.
man.
That's true. You don't fuck with Jim.
You don't fuck with Jim.
Yeah, I never actually got to see that movie, but I did enjoy the podcast, which you can find where? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good segue, actually. Guys, you're listening to Horrible Horror. You can always check us out on Facebook, Twitter. Our handle is So Bad It's Scary. You can check us out on Instagram. And, of course, you can find us on HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. HorribleHorrorPodcast.com is where you can stream us. You can also stream us from iTunes, and you can stream us on Podbean. So check us out. Give us 5 stars. Give us a like. Please boost us up in the ratings. Kind of give us some love, because we do this for free. We do this because we love you. You can also check out our Patreon page. Kind of give us a little bit of love. We're trying to figure out some ideas what we can do to kind of give back to the people who contribute to us. So give us a little bit of time. We're doing this for fun. We're doing this for free. We're doing this for you. Thank you so much again for listening. How about that, guys?
Oh, that sounds so...
Humanoids from the Deep is actually one of my favorites. It's really good.
That is a good episode.
It was a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. But that's in the past. So let's talk about the future or the present. Let's do the present. And the present brings us to this week's movie. A little gem I found called Attack of the Killer Donuts. That's right. You heard correctly. Attack of the Killer Donuts. This movie was released on November 17th of 2017, so it's fairly brand spanking new. Written by Nathan Dalton and Chris De Christopher. Directed by Scott Wheeler. You can find this little...
Say the name again. Chris De Christopher?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
I found that really hilarious.
I thought that too. You can find this on Amazon, YouTube, and Google Play. Now, for this weird of a movie, as cheeky as this movie, the cast is surprisingly well experienced. It has a lot of other credits and acting jobs to their name. It's pretty impressive. We'll start off with Michael Swan, who plays Uncle Luther. He's got 87 credits and such fun movies as Piranhaconda, Dino Croc vs. Super Gator. Yeah. But he also did 132 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, along with 159 episodes of As the World Turns.
So he's got some chops.
Yeah. He was also in, now the older listeners may remember this, or you diehard sci-fi people, but he was also in the original V miniseries back in like the 80s.
Does that make me old? Because I love that shit.
Yeah, he was in V. And he was also in Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, where he played Officer Pappas. Moving on, we have Lauren Compton, who plays Veronica. She actually goes by Lauren Elise in most of her credits. She's got 33 movies. Again, the mystery movie. She's supposedly in Death House, if that ever. and just connected back to the show, the movie she did right before.
Sorry. Damn it.
Yes. The movie she did right before Attack of the Donuts was Clown Town, which we'd also feature on the show.
Sorry, Marshall.
Well, she played Sarah.
Totally stole your thunder.
It's totally fine. It's nice to see you.
He's all disappointed.
Chris is back.
And then we have Officer Rogers, played by C. Thomas Howell. Now, this guy's interesting.
Whoa. Did you say C. Thomas Howell?
C. Thomas Howell.
I mean, from such 80s classics as Outsiders?
That's right, where he played the main character, Ponyboy Curtis. That is
How
correct.
about Red Dawn?
Yes, I believe he was in that.
And the not-to-be-forgotten Soul Man.
Oh, I missed that one.
One of the most racist movies ever created.
Hell yes, Soul Man. I forgot all about that movie.
Soul Man.
He couldn't get a college degree because he was white and they needed affirmative action.
Yes.
So he took quote unquote tanning pills.
Yes.
Which it was just like a black face, kind of like.
And not only did it give him a black face, but it gave him like an afro
the Jerry
too.
curl, yeah.
Oh
I've
my fucking
never
God.
seen this movie.
Have you not?
Are
Oh.
you serious? That is like one of that movie would never ever be made.
As a
today.
child of the
Ever.
80s, you have to check it out.
All right,
Holy
I will.
shit.
I'll check it out sometime.
But then
Sorry.
he realizes, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, all right,
Let me
yeah.
put it that way.
Again, didn't mean to steal your thunder.
But some interesting facts about him is that his father was a professional bull rider and stuntman, and C. Thomas Howell was actually a child rodeo star as a kid before he quit the rodeo to move on to acting.
Raise and rope Broncos.
Yeah, where
fuck.
he won 204 credits. So this guy's been a
Yeah.
working machine. Like Chris said, the ones he's also in The Hitcher 1 and 2, some horror movies there. He was in E.T., Spider-Man, the 2012 remake.
I forgot about E.T. He was in E.T.
Some more modern. He was in the Netflix's newest Punisher series. He played Carson Wolf, which if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend watching that one.
I'm on episode 6 right now. I took a break and I just haven't jumped back into it
I
yet.
have not gotten to it yet.
And then for some other nerdy connections, he was the voice of Captain Cold in the Injustice 2 video game, along with several other voiceover parts in various Justice League animated movies.
Any X-Men stuff?
No, most is all DC Justice League.
Okay.
And he was in a movie called Mutant Vampire Zombies from the Hood, which I would love to be able to find that one someday.
Wow. Talk about rode hard and put away wet. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Next, we will talk about Aaron Groban, who plays Bobby. He's got 122 credits. Again, not a whole lot that people have heard of, but says his more notable credits include he was in Katy Perry's music video Hey Hey Hey. He was a model in 20 episodes of sci-fi hit show Face Off, so he was one of the people they put the makeup on. He was the voice. Here's another callback. He was the voice of AJ in the Zombies video game.
Oh, wow.
They made a Zombies video game?
I told you about this a long time ago. Yeah, it's one of the worst games ever created. It's like I think it's a cell phone game, but it's it's
yeah,
awful.
you did. Yeah, you did.
Was this
yeah,
right
yeah.
after the movie came out? or-
Yeah, they put it
Yeah.
with the movie. But he was one of the voices in it. And then he was in movies Party Bus to Hell, Bikini Car Wash Massacre, and Cobra Gator. So
Bikini Car Wash Massacre.
yeah. Sounds like right up our alley.
Yeah.
Sure does.
And lastly, this movie also has a cameo appearance by softcore porn legend Christine Nijin, who we last saw was in Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre.
Oh, yeah, she was.
So that's that.
Who is she?
She is she's the Asian girl, the
yes,
wife
okay.
near the
Gotcha.
middle end or whatever. But let's move on. That's that done. The fryer's warmed up. Let's dip these donuts and let's move on
Chris,
to the movie.
hand me a donut there, would you?
We do have a box of donuts here
Yes,
with us
sir.
today in celebration of this
Oh, look at
fest.
this.
Look at those long johns. Look at that. Take
Go
one.
for it. Go for
Oh,
it. There you go.
give me one of those.
I'm going to go
Lovely.
with I like the cream filled myself.
Yeah, Aaron loves that cream.
See, I'm setting you guys up for something. You guys got anything? I'm going for the cream filled. I like it in my mouth.
Yeah, he likes that hot, creamy feeling.
All right. No one's got anything? All right.
Are you not here? Oh, okay, whatever. All right, so the movie, we open with the credits.
I'm gonna go with the Long John, Aaron. What? The chocolate Long John.
Oh, he likes
You are wearing a flannel. So
So the credits come, and it's just endless amounts of like these donuts flying around the screen, and these donuts look like they came straight out of like a Simpsons episode. Like they are this stereotypical cartoon Simpson donut.
yeah, I like the music too.
I like the music. I kept expecting to see like Homer like just kind of pop up and start eating the donuts. Yeah.
No.
After the credits, we go to this random small town America. No name or anything, just small town America, and we go into John's bedroom where we meet our main character John, who's his bedroom is covered in pictures of this hot blonde girl, just covering the walls and mirrors.
It looks like he creepily like printed them off of like her Facebook page.
It does kind of look like that. Yeah.
they're all like paper prints, and you can I rather bet I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Right off the bat, I'm like, no, man. I'm sorry. Like, I love my wife, and I had a crush on her, and I've had crushes on other people, but I've never done anything that fucking weird.
No, that's
not at that age. Like, I remember, like, I could see, like, maybe if you was, like... No, I'm not necessarily with, like, an actual girl he knows, but, like, if he was younger, like, you know, in his teens, early teens, like, I mean, when I was a kid, I had a bunch of Cindy Crawford posters all over my room.
You did have a thing for her.
right.
I mean, I could kind of get that, but, like, at his age and the picture, I get what you guys are saying. I kind of agree with you. At this point, it is a little stalker-ish, a little creepy. Anyway, so John gets up, goes in the kitchen for breakfast, where he meet his mom, who is a pretty decent MILF, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Yeah. So basically, John eats his breakfast. He leaves for work, but he hits up his mom for money beforehand.
Well, she says like, good morning. I mean, good afternoon, and then she hands him a plate of bacon.
Yep, plate of bacon.
Nothing else.
Maybe he's on a keto diet.
No eggs, no toast, nothing. Just
Some people just like bacon.
Bacon.
He basically gets $50 from his mom so he can give it to his girlfriend Veronica, who the mom has yet to meet, and John always has an excuse for like why she's not around. So he's like, oh, she's shy or she's this, and so it's a little fishy here. There's something going on.
So of course, this Veronica is the girl plastered all over his bedroom.
Right, I was gonna get to that later. Yeah, you can assume that.
And really quick, did anybody else notice the bunny rabbit in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a little cage bunny rabbit in there.
I thought that was weird too.
A little strange. I mean, I kind of was like,
There's a lot of weird, questionable animals in this whole
interesting choice of pets, and especially
well, I had
interesting
some family
choice
members at
of
one
placement.
point who had a couple
kitchen.
caged parakeets or something in the kitchen at one point. But yeah, I think it's a little weird to keep an animal like in the kitchen dining room area. That should be.
I don't really want to
somewhere
eat
else.
around that shit.
Yeah, rabbit poop. It's gonna smell. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's a little weird. Anyway, so John heads down to the basement now, where he meet his mad scientist Uncle Luther, because for some reason Uncle Luther has his laptop.
Yeah.
Well, he keeps calling it a
Tablet.
Yeah, he calls it a tablet, but
It's clearly a laptop.
very
Not
much
a fucking tablet.
It's very much a laptop.
Where are we at here?
Yeah. So Luther's in the middle of performing this an experiment on a dead rat. He injects his rat with this green liquid.
It's fucking reagent.
Yes,
It's
Re-animator.
It is
It's
Re-animator.
straight from Re-animator. It's
bright
straight
green.
reagent.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and when he ejects
Totally.
it,
And hey, by the way, did you notice that the rat looked exactly
Exactly.
like Marshall? Like,
Exactly.
exactly.
That is the exact
That's
same
the
thing.
first thing I thought of. I was like,
Yes.
holy shit, that's the same rat that Marshall has in his basement.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought too. So down here
sorry.
in Horrible Horror
Sorry.
Studios,
Sorry, yes, in the
Horrible
studios.
Horror Studios, we have a nice, display, a cornucopia, if you will.
Well,
of,
we used it. We
little
used it with the
creepazoids.
creepazoids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a rat that attacked. Yeah.
Correct.
So.
But I mean, I thought that exact thing. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
he just pulled that right up.
But we got little trinkets
studios.
back here, just
Yeah.
like fun little horror stuff, and one of them is the rat, and it's the same.
It does look
fucking
pretty similar,
rat.
I will
It's
say
the same
that.
thing.
Absolutely.
so once he ejects him with the reagent, the green liquid, like you see his green glass cow like explode out from the rat as it comes back to life and attacks Luther. He's able to fight off the rat, but it like runs away right as like John enters the room. Basically, John just grabs his laptop, he leaves, he heads off to work.
So let's go back real quick. The
Okay.
rat comes alive, starts fighting him. He bites him on the shoulder.
Well, first of all, the rat comes alive and then attacks the other mouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the doctor, Professor Luther is like, no, you cannot eat Mimi. You cannot. And then he grabs like one of those old person like
little
reaches-
grabbers? Yeah.
and grabs the rat. And then like holds it to his face, is like, and like, they kind of gets face to face with it, and suddenly the rat like overpowers
Starts
him.
overpowering him.
He's on the floor, like fighting with this rat, and I'm thinking to myself,
How did that happen?
How in the fuck is this rat like overpowering you? I don't
Considering
get
he's
it.
holding on to
Yeah,
it.
it's like back and forth, like what?
Yeah.
What? And it comes down and it bites him on the shoulder. And then it runs away.
And it runs off. So just remember that. Bites him on the shoulder.
Right.
All right.
So yeah, John leaves for work, and we're taken to the Dandy Donut shop. And we meet Michelle, kind of our main girl. She gets dropped off by her brother, who is kind of a meaningless character, but basically he uses her to fix computers and other tech for other people, which he gets paid for, and then doesn't give any of the money for her, even though she's doing all the work. for as long as this conversation is between Michelle and her brother, like
long.
it never comes back into play. There's no bearing on the rest of the movie.
And
It's
for
just-
a quick second, I'm like, are they dating? And then
Yeah,
they're like,
oh, it's
all
her
right,
brother.
bro. And I'm like, that's weird
I
chemistry.
thought that too, but
you
they
guys,
make a big deal about making the point that she like fixes computers, that she's good with computers.
Yeah.
and I
all
thought,
this.
okay, that's going to come back in
Right.
some
Exactly,
way,
they're
shape,
setting
or
up
form.
something
'Cause
up.
she's a crack at computers.
Yeah, she's a tech whiz. And in my opinion, I think Michelle's super hot, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Now, Upjoe pulls John in his sweet, old school VW Bug.
Which is awesome.
It's black, like red leather interior.
And she hears it rolling up, and she kind of bites her lip, and she's like, "Oh, now you know that Michelle." Because
It's plainly obvious throughout what the not coming scene that Michelle is into John.
Right.
She likes
earlier
John.
on, like John's mom was like, "Why don't you be with someone like Michelle?
Yeah.
I've known Michelle since like 4th grade, you know, blah blah blah." So this is the same Michelle that they're talking about.
Yes, it is. So the two of them take the trash out. Start getting the store ready to open. And during this talk, we learn that the owner is this really cheap bastard who cuts every corner possible, and that's why the donut shop's kind of just, run down like kind of skeezy place.
So working at a donut shop, you worked at a donut shop.
I did work at a donut shop
That was
when
like
I
your
was
first job.
It was. I was 14.
Yeah.
Which donut shop?
It's closed now.
Pastries.
Yeah.
Oh,
closed
right up
now.
the road.
Right
Yeah.
on 17th Street. Yeah. Yeah, Swansea Pastry. How was it? Did you have a skeezy, balding cheapskate?
Did they decorate the place with like
Christmas lights?
yeah, and like inflatable like.
So we have
No.
someone who's actually been in a donut shop, because I have a few donut questions that are going to come up later.
Okay.
I need you to answer them for me.
All right, I'll do my best.
You have the experience.
Serious,
How
dude.
So
long did you work there?
I only worked there a few months because I was 14. I didn't like. It was pretty stupid.
You
like,
shouldn't have been working there in the first
no,
place.
that's what I said. Like I didn't even have a worker's permit. It was like I look back, I was like, man, I was kind of like
You just
illegal
went in
child
there and
labor.
said, "Hey, can I work here?" And they're like, "Sure, kid."
Yeah.
Did you ever fill out any paperwork? Did they give you cash?
No, no, I think I did get actual checks, but yeah, it was
Handwritten checks from their personal account.
Yeah, probably.
probably.
Wow.
So anyway, while they're outside talking, now up comes another sweet. This 3S like Thunderbird or Camaro or something.
Definitely Camaro.
Yeah.
Camaro. Okay, thank
Bitchin'
you.
As they're
Camaro.
taking out the bitchin' Camaro.
And it's driven by Bobby, and in the passenger seat is Veronica.
Bobby has no shirt on, I believe.
No, he has a shirt.
No, he has
Oh,
a
he has
shirt
a
on
tank
this
top,
one.
yeah.
He kind of looks like Clay. He kind of reminds me like he looks like Clay Matthews from like the Green Bay Packers linebacker.
He's in
He got that
shape.
long
He's got the
blonde
long
hair. He's in
hair.
shape. So Veronica gets out. She goes up to John. He tries to kiss her, but she moves out of the way and gives him like this really awkward kiss on the cheek.
She's wearing booty shorts, like a tube
and, like-
top, heels,
Like a
yeah.
skimpy tank top.
Or actually wedges. I know the
They are
difference now.
yes, they are wedges.
Wedges.
She
at-
smiles,
look at Aaron.
bats her eye. She flirts with him. She's asking him for money. Michelle just like in the background just rolls her eyes like fuck it, and like she goes inside. John gives her the money that he got from his mom. Bobby then yells out, "Come on, babe, let's go!" And John's like, "Did he just call you babe?" And she's
No,
like,
no,
no,
no.
not at all." And she gets back in the car. They drive off.
All right. God damn it, John. You sack of shit.
I felt
Come
the
on.
exact same way.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn, dude.
now I get it. It's the girl that you can't get. I bet you anything he hasn't tasted that pussy yet.
No.
He hasn't gone diving deep into her guts.
Yeah, this isn't even getting a kiss from her.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he
why
has
he's
got
got
nothing.
the whole fucking thing set up in his room,
Yeah.
because that's the gal he wants to bang.
Right.
That's the girl he,
And I think
the-
he's a fucking idiot because Veronica or Michelle's over here. And I think she's like, whoa, like 10 times.
Sure.
I think she's hot.
But
Yeah,
there's
Michelle's
also
hot.
that thing. It's like you guys have had friends that are girls that you grew up with, and you kind of know them and
but
stuff.
the thing is, he thinks they're dating. Like that's the whole thing throughout this movie. Like,
Right.
I was like, oh, he's the girl that he can't get. It's like he literally thinks they're dating.
Well, obviously he hasn't gotten it.
Right, but he doesn't get it. But he
He's
thinks they're
obviously a
dating.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So
Hence the idiot factor.
yeah, we go back inside the donut shop. Michelle is waiting on a customer named Mrs. Scolari. And there's also this homeless guy sitting at the table. And this homeless guy is just like a constant in this movie. He's just always kind of there in the background. He's like the constant customer. He just
He's
sits
the
around.
furniture. He's there
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah.
I know,
He
yeah.
basically is a piece of
I like
furniture.
him a lot.
Yeah.
He's really entertaining.
In comes Luther wanting John's laptop back now for some reason. And out comes Cliff, the owner, who gets into Luther's face. And we
Yeah,
learn that
so
Cliff and Luther have a past, and
There's like a back history there.
yeah, and
we
Cliff
don't know
has
about.
kicked Luther out and banned him from the donut
It's so
shop.
funny though. Ooh, they're both pointing at each other. They're like they have a stare down.
They have this
Yeah.
like old man banter back and forth.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I-
it's like Luther comes in, he's wanting the laptop back.
Right.
Out comes the owner,
Cliff.
the owner,
yes.
and they're just kind of getting this old man banter back and forth, and they get to such a degree of anger that they start going to fisticuffs.
Yeah, they get into a scuffle.
and by fisticuffs it means like wrestling with your grandpa.
Kind of.
It's
know,
like, yeah, there's like
like-
it's like they're in the eternal clinch and they're just kind of spinning each other
Yes,
around.
yes.
And in the clinch.
It's like they're whispering, like, "What are we gonna do? What should we do?"
Yeah, and they're just spinning around
And
in
yeah,
this clinch.
during this whole time, Michelle and John just like they just pop up on the counter, open a can of a bottle of soda, and like
They're
just
just
watching the
Which
music.
I thought was pretty funny.
I thought it was funny too. There's some
Yeah.
things like
Because this is entertaining. The lady who was trying to buy stuff, she's kind of like worried about it. They're like someone keeps screaming police, you know, which I thought was kind of go police, police, which I thought was kind of weird. But it's real silly.
it is. It's more silly.
Oh, yeah.
But this whole movie is basically. I mean, it's Attack of the Killer Donuts. It's
Yeah,
tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this whole fight is that,
That-
Is what happens next.
Yeah, the vial of reagent, as we're calling it, the green vial.
why he's carrying that around with
Yeah,
him
why did he carry that around
Zero
there?
sense.
Who knows? But it flies out of his lab coat
Somehow,
pocket.
and when you say fly, it like decides to grow wings of its own,
Yeah, it shoots
jump
out.
out of the.
Like it just doesn't fall out of his pocket into something. It like flings
It
a
leaps.
good 20 yards.
through
Oh, yeah.
through the air,
Through, like, the window.
through the window that
The
connects
service
the,
window.
Yeah, the service window. Thank you, and into
To the fryer.
The fryer,
Boom.
which you think would corrupt the integrity of the reagent.
You would think
would
so.
think
The
so.
heat would just, the heat alone.
You would think so.
But we'll get into that.
So yeah, it lands in the fryer.
Actually, donut guy, does fryer grease corrupt reagent?
Well, I don't know because we didn't have reagent. It might as well-
well, you had no reagent in
Yeah.
Sorry,
donuts.
guys,
What?
we didn't have reagent.
What kind of donut shop did you have?
Ugh.
Christ.
That's why it closed down.
Yeah, that's why our donuts bring people back from the dead, I guess. So, so Luther eventually gets the upper hand, kind of tosses Cliff to the floor, grabs the laptop, and out he runs.
Yeah,
Eric-
like he's stealing like Nazi gold. He's like, it's mine.
Yeah.
It's mine. You know,
Well,
like
again, you think that would be something that would come back? Does not.
no.
yeah.
Everyone goes back to work. Outside,
Oh,
I mean,
Cliff does he grabs like an orange soda out
Yeah,
of the fridge.
he's all huffy and tuffy. He's like, "Why did you guys help?" And he's putting his toupee back on.
right.
And,
And then Cliff, he grabs his orange soda out of like this little mini fridge.
Yeah, mini
that's-
fridge.
for
And
customers
he
to
takes
grab.
a drink out of it, puts the cap back on, and sticks it back in there. And Michelle's like, "She's gonna put that back, huh?" He's like, "I'll be in my office."
Well, he is cutting every corner.
Real
Yep.
classy joint.
So outside we meet these two cops who are driving a perp back to the station, but they decide to stop for donuts. And the
Because
black
they're free
the
donuts.
free donuts.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
the black cop is named Hammerstein, and the white cop is Rogers. So we have Rogers
Good
and
God.
Hammerstein. So
I kind of like that,
yeah.
honestly.
So R and H, they go inside, leaving the perp unattended in the car, who immediately starts trying to get free. Inside, John, he's in the back. He drops a donut on the floor, and he kind of kicks it underneath one of the tables. And when the donut gets kicked, you see this cloud of green gas like escape from the donut.
Because this is the donuts that came out of the fryer.
Out of the fryer, yeah.
That has been purposed with reagent.
Yes. He boxes up some of the donuts, gives them to Michelle, and she gives it to Miss Scolari, who leaves as the cops enter.
Miss Scolari,
Yes.
is she about our age? Are we getting that old? Is Miss Scolari older than...
I think she's older than me.
I think she's in her 40s or 50s, I
Well, I
think.
just turned 38, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Are you in your 40s?
No, but she's...
So-
But I would say
It's not
someone...
your age. Shut the
I would
fuck
say
up.
someone 40 years old is about my age.
That's true.
Miss
older.
Scolari. Yeah, that's my future.
She's older than us, so don't worry. John and Michelle give the cops some free coffee and a free box of glazed donuts. They leave, get back in the car.
Oh, yeah, but they make a big deal about we like to get your coffee because it keeps me regular and like
He makes us
fun.
fart.
Farts.
Yeah.
And this is C. Thomas Howell. This
Yeah.
dude has been in like some epic fucking
Right,
movies.
and he's doing fart jokes.
Yes.
in,
Yeah,
a,
he's
in a,
making
like a
fart jokes.
B
Yeah.
horror movie.
And he
yeah.
keeps saying, "Yeah, free donuts."
Yeah, he
I
loves.
love I will say for the this is a cheesy bad B movie, but the acting in this movie,
it's not
I
bad.
loved it. I thought people nailed it.
They did.
It was a perfect balance between the over top cheekiness and like taking it serious, like playing it real.
But they did the over the top stuff so well.
Yeah, and it just
Agreed.
I thought it was great.
But this dude is. I mean, I felt bad for him. Do you know what I'm saying?
You fell from such great heights.
I mean, not great heights, but he was in some pretty good shit.
Epic E.T. Come on.
Right, I know. And like you're doing this now.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, he was a kid in E.T. though. So.
Yeah.
Still, I don't know. It's just. I mean, it's not like.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like a Lawrence of Olivier, like doing, Sorry Girls and Slime Bowl Rama or something like that.
No, not that much.
But I mean, not that much. Right. He's okay. I get it, but yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago. I'm sure drugs had a huge thing to do with that. But moving on.
Or just wants to work.
Yeah.
So, and back they're in the cop car. The perp asks for a donut, and the cops finally give him one. And when the perp bites into it, this cloud of green gas comes out, which for some insane reason, nobody sees this green gas
I was
ever.
curious about the green gas. Do they see it? Is it just implied? Does the guy just doesn't say, "Holy shit, I just ate a donut"?
They don't see it because if you bite into a donut and a cloud of green gas escapes, I would be reacting. I'm like, "Holy, what the fuck did I just eat? What is
his
in this
next
donut?"
comment? I think the acid's kicking in.
Yeah, but I think he was talking about a stomach acid.
Oh.
Or the fact that he's arrested. He might have been on acid. He took acid when he was arrested.
That's kind of what I took it as.
Yeah.
I took it more as stomach acid, but I could.
I took it as drugs he took before he got
Acid's
arrested.
kicking in? I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know.
Maybe he did see it and he thought it was acid.
Yeah, but the
Possibly.
cops are looking right at him like nobody sees this green gas.
I don't think the
ever.
cops were really looking.
No, the
I
cops weren't really looking.
They
at
had
it.
to him because his no, because he got his hands free. I thought the cops. I
Yeah,
don't know.
which. Never mind. It's not important.
Yeah, it's not
Let's go.
important.
Moving on.
So we cut back to Mrs. Scolari, who is now dressed in like this make older woman's lingerie. It's red silky lingerie, and she's
Can we talk about the cat real quick before you get too?
Oh, the cat. The super fake.
Because that's the first thing that she mentions when she walks in the room in her like sexy lingerie. 'Cause she's about to seduce a dozen donuts.
Yeah,
whatever.
the whole thing is she's doing a seductive dance for
It's
her
her
donut
cheat
box.
day, guys.
I know. Yeah, it's
She's
her
just getting
cheat day.
into it.
Why is there a fake like puppet cat?
Animatronic kind of cat.
Which I was trying to like, is it supposed to be fake, or are they trying to say this is a real cat?
At
because
first,
the
I was-
cat moves while she. Because I watched this.
I was trying to figure out, is this...
Did you watch this more than once?
Yes, I did.
Oh my.
I watched it once too, but I was like, I
Oh,
couldn't
my.
realize if this was meant to be a real cat,
I
or
think it was meant
or
to be a
just
real cat.
I think it was meant to be fake.
I thought... I
It
think it was...
moves. It
Yeah,
moves
it's
as she's dancing.
animatronic. Yeah, it's okay.
I think it was meant to be a real cat,
I thought so too.
but it was just a really cheap animatronic doll. They just
Going
threw
on,
a
I'm
couch.
going on a little limb here. Follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you guys watch Master of None? Ever seen that show with Aziz Ansari?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of it.
Okay, there is a character who's an old guy who has been issued a animatronic seal called Popo, which has it looks like a little baby seal because they get lonely, and he's like it makes cute little sounds. You have to put it to bed, you have to take care of it, but it's an animatronic thing, and to help stave loneliness, they issue this thing to him, and it's kind of a running gag because one of the younger guy gets it, and he wants to take it with him to dinner and stuff like that. And maybe
Why not just get a cat?
Maybe it's
Right.
something like
you,
that.
Marshall.
Well, because cats shit and cost money, and you got to feed
But you're
them.
still
and
taking
whatever.
care of something.
She
And
lives in this giant fucking house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge
huge
house,
house.
Gotta be able to afford to fucking feed a cat.
huge, beautiful house.
Yeah, that room she's in is gorgeous.
It's so
it's like this giant Victorian hardwood.
Oh, it looks great.
It's beautiful.
Looks
It's like
great.
she's loaded.
It's like she's like the
You
rich
guys are
widow.
looking at the cat. I'm looking at the house. I'm just like, this place is balling.
Yeah, which is what bothered me about the fucking cat.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm with Chris. I think it was supposed to be a real cat. Like it reminded me of the cat, the cheap ass
Weird.
fake cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like
It was so fake. There's
Yeah.
no way it
I
can
know.
be real, though.
I know.
But so was the cat in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was so fake, but it was supposed to be a real
Hey,
cat.
So was obviously the mouse that Uncle Luther fucking injected the goddamn fucking Re-animator.
You're onto something there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, she's dancing around seducing her box of donuts.
Oh, shaking her titties.
She even rubs the box of donuts on her tits.
It's
She
so
rubs her
weird.
tits on the box.
Yeah.
She
Finally
Real
opens the
weird.
box, and we see that the donuts have come to life and now have long fangs growing out from like around the donut hole area.
Can you say that one more time?
Long fangs growing out the donut hole area.
You heard that right.
Yeah, it's true. One of the donuts leaps out of the box and bites like right onto her face. Mm-hmm. She screams, stumbles around the room.
This gag goes on a little too long.
Yeah,
Agreed.
with the
She
donut.
knows too that a donut like
It's
doubled in
massive.
size.
It's like the size of a bagel.
It's a bagel. Yeah. The donut's still attached to her face. Eventually, she falls back into a chair, and that's when the rest of the donuts in the box just all leap out of the box and they latch onto her.
Hopping around all over,
Yeah.
kind of making gremlin-y giggle sounds.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
very gremlin-esque, I guess.
Very gremlin.
Yeah.
And at that point, we just jump back to the cops and the perp in the car. They've pulled off the road, and they're just kind of sitting there on the side of the road.
Which was weird. It's like dark. Like, how long does it take to get back to the police station?
Yeah, it's really weird. Like,
And you're on like a side road.
it's like they were in the town, and then they like went out into like the rural
Yeah.
side roads.
What were
like,
they planning to do with this perp?
Yeah, like
What
what's
was
going
like,
on here?
Are you guys just like, what? Yeah, there's no explanation.
It's really an odd thing there. So the perp is in the back. He's farting up a storm, and
He looks like shit.
he's
Yeah.
complaining about stomach pains and cramps. His farts also like release these large green gas clouds, which again no one sees. Like no one pays attention. Like if someone farts out green gas, you're gonna notice that. You're gonna comment on that, and everybody's like, I don't. They don't even see it. The perp breaks his handcuffs apart, snaps them in half. He attacks the cops. He knocks them both
When he
unconscious.
takes him, he does like a.
Double noggin knocker.
Yeah. Meeting of the mind.
Yeah, so he grabs one each by the head and whaps their heads together.
The old
Seems
Hulk Hogan movie. He did it all
Meeting
the
of the
time.
minds,
Meeting of the minds.
double noggin knocker. Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, then he proceeds to like kick the door.
He kicks the fucking door.
Yeah, the whole door just kicks the door off, and he escapes, and he heads off, and he starts
Farting.
Not before he like throws up green
goo
and, like,
and farting and
more
vomiting.
more flatulence. Yes.
So we go back to Dandy Donuts, where John and Michelle, they're continuing their work. They give the homeless guy some free donuts
So
as
they're doing a
well.
little flirty, like.
Yeah, it's like, well, not quite a montage, but it's
Kinda.
like a working montage,
Yeah.
I guess.
Michelle then asks John if he smells patchouli, and in comes...
Which I do like this part because they go, "Do you smell patchouli?" And then there's like 20 seconds that go by where they're just like sniffing, and then in walks the guy,
In wa-
and I'm just like,
Flanagan.
yes. If that was intentional, that was so solid.
No, it's totally
It's
intentional.
so funny.
Yeah, it's great. And
Because patchouli is so strong. Ugh.
And Flanagan is like this ultra hippie Zen yogi type character, and I normally cannot stand these fucking guys, these people like this. But I love the way the actor portrays Flanagan in this movie. I loved Flanagan.
Home run.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park with this guy.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
So Flanagan enters carrying a small wooden box and asks to see Cliff, the owner. Turns out that Flanagan owns a competing donut shop called Fertile Soil.
Is it a donut shop? I
Yeah.
I
I
just assume it's donut because
I'm assuming it's a donut shop. It could be one of those hippy dippy kind of,
That's right. I thought it was just like
Every
a
some
hippie
kind of
hippie,
shop.
like-
But why bring this into a donut shop?
It seems like it's his competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's here to reveal his newest and greatest creation, which is a super special donut that he has inside this wooden box.
When they open the
We'll
box,
get to that.
Okay.
Cliff comes out, Flanagan hands him the box, which Cliff opens, and like I said, when the wind is open, John, Michelle, and Cliff are bathed in this golden light. It's like fucking Marcellus Wallace's briefcase from Pulp
Yes,
Fiction.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna
Was
say.
it? I mean, it's just
exactly
golden
that.
light, and you're like,
Yeah, straight out of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
John
Vincent.
Travolta going, "Oh, we happy."
yeah.
Vincent, do we have it? Oh, we have it.
Flanagan calls it circular bliss, and in the box is this little tiny donut that he says is made from the freshest certified organic gluten-free fat-free ingredients.
Looks like a little chocolate donut or a little
It's not-
powdered donut that
it's
you
not
eat.
even powder,
Yeah,
it's
but it
just
means
like a
that
sugar-
size.
It's like a little cake sugar donut.
Yeah, but it's that size.
Yeah, one of the mini donuts.
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes on to tell Cliff that he sells for $3.50 retail for one donut.
They laugh their ass
Cliff
off.
laughs. Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah, Cliff's like, you won't even sell one of them at that price. And Flanagan in his like hippie, and he's like, I sold, what is it?
3
I
dozen
sold 3
today.
dozen this morning, and, which, for you math buffs out there, equals $126 plus tax off of these little donuts.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's something that's always been a mystery to me. How the fuck do donut shops stay open?
Good
I
question.
don't.
Well, that's why many of them
understand.
don't stay open anymore, especially your mom and pop ones, unless they're like Dunkin' or
Especially when you worked
Krispy
at.
Which
Kreme.
is why you see Dunkin' Donuts moving on from donuts to like breakfast sandwiches and like, oh, look at our coffee. Our coffee's awesome.
Which sucks
You know,
because I love the mom and pop donut shops. The best donuts I've ever had in the world were from a donut shop here in Belleville, Illinois that
Mr.
closed
Donut?
up. No, not Mr. I forgot about Mr. Malo's. Loved them, but they closed down a few years
Do you remember
ago.
Mr. Donut used to be up by
On Main
McDonald's?
Street. Yeah, I remember.
My
Mr. Donut.
favorite donut shop, since we're on the topic,
I didn't know. Some of you don't like them, but I remember. Them.
Wade Square, Belleville, Illinois.
I remember Wade Square.
It
yeah.
just said donuts
Donuts.
on it, and when I walked in one time, it was owned by an Indian family. The lady was asleep. She was asleep on one of the counters, just like with her head down, and I didn't know what else to call it because it just said donut, so I called it sleeping
Sleeping
Hindu
donut.
sleeping Hindu donut world. That's what I called it. And they had good donuts, sleeping Hindu donut world. So I tell my
That's where
friends.
Katie used to live upstairs.
Yeah. All right, enough of our personal reminiscences on donuts.
So Cliff fires back saying that just because it has all those healthy ingredients, it doesn't mean it tastes good. Flang like, I dare you to eat it, Cliff. Cliff's like, no, I'm not eating it. Like, no. But Michelle chimes like, fuck, I'll eat it. I'll try it. She takes a bite of the donut and instantly seems to start having like an orgasm.
And
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's really shitty.
yeah, it's orgasmic esque. Let's
Yeah.
not. She's not rubbing her boobs or
No,
butter,
I'm not-
but
just-
she's definitely like, ugh, it's like a total
She coulda
body
sold
feeling.
it a little bit better than she
That's,
did.
see, that's the thing. It's like they're doing such good acting for the most part, and then you have a moment like this
Well, maybe
where
she
you
didn't
should
want to take
really.
it too. I don't know if they.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, if we're gonna go all the way, go all the way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
have this orgasmic experience, because that's what I also agree with
Yeah,
you guys.
right,
That
right.
seems what she should be going for. But she's like, it feels like it's half-assed or it's not all the way.
huh?
Right. However, John.
John gets a boner. From
Yeah,
it.
you see him like trying to push his boner down.
Yeah, he's like adjusting
while
his
she's like,
pants.
While she's like,
Oh.
She's not even like moaning. She's not even like, oh my god, you know.
See,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's implied. It feels like it's implied and not shown.
yeah, but it fell short.
Yeah, I can
It went-
I can understand what you guys are saying. Not wanting to be outdone, Cliff tells Flanagan he too has has a new creation, and it he's like, John, go back and get it or something like that. But we cut back to John's house, and his friend Howard rides up on his bike, drops the bike down like outside the front door.
This is weird. This is really bad editing.
Yeah.
This is where like because they're like, go back and get the donut. Boom, we're out of the donut shop,
Yep.
and now we're in front of
John's house,
John's house.
yeah.
where his friend Howard rides up on his bike, drops the bike down, knocks on the door.
And
John's
Howard's like the nerdy like.
Yeah, he's kind of
He
he's
rolls
like
up
a,
on a
he's like
scooter,
a
like-
slightly chubby, Jewy looking nerdy guy. He got like
Thick
a little
gla-
Jew fro
thick
glasses.
glasses.
Yeah. John's mom answers the door and she's like all dressed up in this sexy blue
And they
dress.
start
and
from her
she's all
feet
dolled
up, long pan up along
Yeah.
the legs and her little outfit.
and like smooth, sexy jazz,
Jazz.
saxophone is playing
Yeah.
in the background.
And what is she holding in her hand?
A bowl. She's like, "You ready for my famous macaroni and cheese and bacon dish?"
And there's like a giant piece of bacon
Just
like
sticking.
hanging.
It's mac and cheese with a giant piece of bacon sticking out of it.
Dude, this sounds like my fucking dream.
I know, right? So she's like, "You ready?" He's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah."
So she
She's
brings him
like,
aside. They
"Well,"
close the door.
She's like, "Well, come in." Here we go.
And as soon as the door closed, we go back to the donut shop. John serves Flanagan a single donut that Cliff calls a douche nut. It's a new free-range, whole wheat, 100% sugar-free donut, which we find out later it's just a regular sugar
He says
donut.
it's like sugar-free, and it's like covered in sugar.
Yeah.
It's like-
Cliff dares him to eat it. Flanagan's like, you know what? Just bag it up for me. I'll try it later. And Flanagan leaves with the donut. Back to John's house, we see Howard leave while he's like, as he throws his like dress shirt over his shoulder.
He has got zippity doodah in
And he
his
is
step.
skipping away.
And
He is
literally
skips
skips
away.
down the sidewalk.
Which I
Forgets
have to,
his scooter.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He's slight. His bike is. By the way, it's gone. Like he
Right. Yeah.
drops it like in front of the house, And when he comes out, it's just gone, and he doesn't even notice we're carrying because he skips right by where the bike should have been.
Fucks.
He does not.
No, he's on his way.
That must have been some good bacon.
Very good bacon. And we go back to Dandy's again. John's looking for the donut that he kicked under the table, which is now gone.
Did you pick up the donut, Michelle? No, what are you talking about? So the donut is gone on its own.
Gone.
Yeah. They make a thing like, well, maybe Cliff
Cliff
picked it up.
Yeah, but Cliff's never picked up anything in his life or cleaned up. Michelle.
Cliff wouldn't pick his mama off the floor.
Unless she was a quarter.
Yeah.
Michelle starts hearing these weird sounds coming from one of the cabinets, and she kneels down to open up the cabinet door, and we see like this mutant donut inside, like just waiting inside. But right before she opens the door, in comes Howard to interrupt her.
All smiley and happy.
Oh yeah, he's super happy.
Smiley, happy people.
Smiley happy Howard.
Smiley happy Howard fucking moms.
She definitely has a soft spot.
So John and Michelle tell him they can't be back here. And they have him leave, go back out to the front. Cut back to Flanagan at his house. He's getting ready for a shower, and he has his douche nut on a tray.
This is great. I love him coming into his shower with his tray set up.
Yeah.
He takes a crystal out of his drawers,
out of his underwear,
rubs it on his face, kisses it, and says, "We are one."
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, but it was awesome.
It's his hippie yen,
It's really weird.
The chakras or something.
Yeah,
like
and he
Is that
has
what
like
that was?
probably.
I'm confused.
he's got lotion on the table too with the round donut, and for a
Was
minute,
it? I thought it was shampoo.
for
Thank
a
you.
split second,
You think he's gonna fuck the
I
donut?
thought he was gonna fuck the donut.
I did
So
too.
did I.
Because also on the tray, like these, like these globe round spherical lit candles too.
Yeah.
And he's like setting the mood.
Is he going to bang a donut? Was
thought
what I
for
kept
sure
thinking,
that was
and
gonna
it
happen.
doesn't happen.
It doesn't, but I thought the same thing.
I'm a little. I don't. Is it wrong of me to be disappointed?
No, I think, and this type of movie,
I like that Marshall's like, no, you got my back, brother.
No.
All right.
Not in this type of movie.
No.
So he takes a bite of the donut, and again, a green puff of gas comes out, which again he doesn't see, and doesn't even notice or comment on.
No, but he does comment about the fact that he starts choking on it. He's
Yeah.
like,
It tastes
"Well,
like
it's
shit.
dog
Yeah.
shit."
Yeah, he
makes
immediately
it-
coughs it up, and he gets into the shower. Behind him now, the donut has come to life. We go back to the cop car where Rogers and Hammerstein are still unconscious. The donuts that they were given have all come to life now, and they bounced out of the car and like off into the night.
Roll off.
Yeah. Back to Flanagan. We go right back to we go, and he's in the shower, but he has to get out to grab his shampoo or something.
The
He
grabs
grabs
that lotion that was on the
makes
tray.
a big deal about the lotion.
Okay.
It's like, oh, it's so much better with the lotion.
And
or whatever.
this allows the donut to hop into the shower unseen behind him. Now, everybody else knows like the donut that hops in is the same donut that he just took a bite out of, but now there's no bite mark. It's completely whole donut again.
Well, that comes back way later. But yeah.
So-
Good.
Okay, well, Flanagan gets back in the shower. The donut just attacks him and leaps up and bites him on the shoulder. He screams, pulls the donut off. Holding it in his hand in front of his face, Flanagan's looking at it, screaming. And the donut latches onto Flanagan's face, biting into him and killing him. Now, just like the rat, even worse, man. This is a fucking donut that overpowers a man who's
Right.
holding it,
Truth.
but it overpowers him and like is able to leap back onto his face.
Onto his face. Yeah, and he has a very dramatic hand slap on the
Bloody
window,
handprint.
on the
Like,
window,
yeah,
and just
psycho,
drag
yeah,
down
yeah, yeah.
like he's getting banged by Jack in Titanic. You know?
And you see all the blood in
Yeah.
the shower go down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's
Just the
dead.
CGI with these donuts is like, wow.
It's bad, but a good bad. I didn't mind it.
It's not that bad,
Yeah.
honestly. It's
For
not,
a low budget, it's
I'm okay with it.
It's
I mean,
better than the CGI in that goddamn Zombies movie.
Well, I
That
didn't
was
see
awful.
Zombies.
Yeah.
These donuts are like far superior.
I did listen to it, but
Yeah.
I did not watch it.
Oof, maybe we did not emphasize enough how bad the CGI was in Zombies.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it.
Jumping back to Rogers and Hammerstein, who finally wake up and realize the purpose gone. Roger stops Hammerstein from calling in and saying that they lost the part. He's like, dude, you can't call in. They'll laugh at us, or we're
gonna lose our jobs.
Yeah, you can't do it. So they drive off to find him. Back at Dandy's, the homeless guy starts giving gaming advice to Howard, who's supposed to be playing like some kind of cell phone game, but you can clearly see the cell phone isn't even turned on; it's just a black screen. And he's like,
"He's the 1-2 punch,
the 1-2 combo, 1-2, 1-2." In the back, we join John and
That
Michelle.
homeless guy, by the way. I'm sorry, I really enjoyed that.
They're continuing to work. John mentions that Howard comes over when he's not at home to hang out with his mom a lot because she has a soft spot for him.
Yes, she does.
A soft spot called a vagina.
Ding, ding, ding. Anybody else get that? Hey-o.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Marshall couldn't wait to get that joke out.
I know, man. I think we all thought it at the same time.
He didn't want me to steal it.
Like, I know, like, it gotta be Chris this way. Chris is always stealing my thunder.
He already heard me. I could have mentioned it
I'm
earlier.
waiting for Marshall to hold the finger up. Like, whoa.
I kind of made a hint to it just a little bit ago. And he's like, no, I gotta get it out. That's all right, buddy. I'm sorry.
Michelle starts prying into John's relationship with Veronica. And you know what's going on there. And with that, we cut to Veronica and Bobby fucking in the backseat of his Camaro.
Yes, because he makes a big deal like, Veronica's just in like public displays of affection.
Yeah,
and then
that's-
suddenly,
Then we
boom,
cut
right
to
to the
her
Camaro.
banging.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not public though. They're in the back seat
They
privately.
are out on a side road.
That's true.
But she's got her top on.
Yeah,
she's riding
sadly we
them.
get no boobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no boobs.
At all in this movie.
And we immediately go back to Luther, who's in the basement lab again, and he realizes that his Vio Green reagent is missing, and he comes to the conclusion that it fell out of the donut shop. So right back there we go. John's frying up some more donuts, and now we get this montage of John, Michelle, and Cliff just working and whatnot, doing busy work. It's just a work
for
montage.
No customers in this donut shop. They make an awful lot of
I was
donuts.
gonna say it's like they keep pumping out donuts even though like no one's buying.
Nobody
they
is
just keep
showing
making
up.
them.
What are we doing with these donuts? Yeah.
I thought the same thing. In comes this group of 3 guys wanting free donuts. Michelle tells them to try a dumpster out back, and the main guy says, "By free donuts, I mean show me your tits."
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
This is
that's
a
a
good
ballsy
scene, man.
move.
She's like a bad bitch in this movie.
yeah. Just right off the bat, these guys are just.
They're douchey. They're just douchies. Michelle tells them to go blow themselves. The main guy, Conrad, calls her a bitch, and out comes John to, hearing this, he leaps over the counter to defend Michelle's honor. They end up fighting. Conrad's boys leap into the action to help Conrad. Howard, who is sitting at one of the tables, jumps on the back of the fatter bully guy.
Well, and the homeless guy is like whispering to Howard, like, "I got your back."
Yeah, I know, but I gotta say, like, I like the scene. I like the fact
like
that
it a lot, too, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I like that he came to defense real quick.
Well, and she held her own.
yeah,
Like, because
she didn't need to be rescued.
No, yeah, not at
But
all.
at the same time, I do like friends sticking up for friends.
Yeah,
It's like I'm a big
as soon-
fan of that.
As soon as
yeah.
he called her a bitch, all of a sudden John come out and was like, "What'd you say?" You know what I
Right.
mean? And like he jumped over the counter and like went after him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Friends-
I'm a big fan of
family,
friends
yeah.
sticking
Oh,
up
I
for
agree.
friends.
I
So
totally 100% agree
yeah.
with you. So anyway, there still leaves 2-on-1 on John. 2 of them are on John. Michelle pulls out this like little thing of mace and starts spraying the bullies in the eyes.
And I do like the fact that she says, "Cover your eyes," and they're like, "What?" And then when they look up, John covers his eyes, she sprays him. So it helps explain. Like, that's the little details I do like about movies. And like, I love that kind of stuff. It just makes me happy. That's why I like the scene, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one a lot.
Cliff runs out, sees the 3 bullies lying on the floor, holding their eyes. Conrad tells him that this bitch.
Slip that one right in.
I thought we could just pass right over that.
Those donuts are hitting you.
Yeah.
Marshall's not drinking beer because he's not feeling good, but those donuts, baby, woo!
Sorry, guys. I apologize for that. I was hoping we could just kind of skim over that.
Never.
So Conrad tells him that this bitch maced him, and basically Cliff fires Michelle on the spot. And in her honor and defense, John says, she goes, I go, and he quits and just storms out after Michelle, followed by Howard.
I kind of wish the bum would go with him too.
That would have been hilarious.
He's like, "That's it, I'm out of here.
I'm outta here."
I would have liked that. That would have been kind of fun.
So John and Howard catch up with Michelle in the parking lot. Inside, Cliff gives the 3 bullies a free box of donuts to try to keep them from suing.
Yeah, which this seems so counterproductive because he's like, "All right, boys, all right, sorry, here's some free donuts, have some free sodas. later, and he's like, "You'll hear from my lawyer." That's what Conrad says
he does.
as he's walking out. It's like, well, there just goes. You just should have kicked him in the dick instead. You know, you just wasted. You just gave away free donuts, and now you're gonna get sued anyway.
Yep. So, Cliff goes back into the back to fry up more donuts, but then he ends up going into his office. The donut that we saw in the cabinet earlier gets out, and he starts frying up an army of killer donuts. He takes over the fryer. The donut is frying up more donuts.
This is where your expertise may come in.
Okay.
Okay? Because this is something I was a little confused about. He drops the fryer in, and the donut's got to fry for a certain amount of time. The donut's looking into the fryer, kind of looking around, and he hops up, and he's hitting a button.
Yeah, this red button, which shoots donuts
Which
out
would
of the fryer.
it would shot a donut out, and the donut's like, jumped up again, shoots out another donut, and he's like, "Oh, sweet! I'm gonna make boom, boom, boom,
bounce,
donuts popping out."
Yeah.
Of course, frosting and sprinkles included, mind you. But is there any sort of like ejection button on a fryer?
Well, first of all, the fryer we used was not like that one. That's like a fast food, like French fry fryer or fried chicken fryer. The one I used, we didn't have like the baskets.
Did you use the chopsticks or the?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some real old school
like
shit
you would
right
lower,
there.
Like there's like this like grill or like this wired like
like
oven
a
rack.
wired
type
rack,
thing.
yeah.
You put them on that, and then you'd lower that in, and the donuts would float up then, and you use like these two like chopsticks and you would flip the donuts over and around get fried, and then you would raise the thing
the rack back
the
up.
rack thank you the rack back up, and you take that out, and it wasn't like you threw them in a basket and dunked the basket. Not the ones because that's what I did. I just worked the fryer though. That's all I did was I worked the fryer and the glazer.
As a 14-year-old.
As a 14, which I hated because I keep burning.
Yeah.
I keep burned. And then the fry, and I worked the glazer too. It'd be fry, glaze, and yeah, that's what I did. So, so this donut fries up his army of killer donuts. We go back to John and Michelle. They get into John's car. They share a nice little tender moment that leads to them about to kiss, but right as their lips are about to touch, they get interrupted by Howard knocking on the driver's window, asking for a ride.
Scooter doesn't work.
Yeah, my scooter's not working. He gets in. The three of them, they drive off.
Did you ever notice like a little animosity between Howard and Michelle a little bit?
Well,
No, not until the whole.
No,
they argue over shotgun.
they seem
but
annoyed by each other, not like true animosity.
I didn't really pick up on a whole lot of that. I don't know.
I kind of felt it like when he like popped in, like, "Oh hey," and you gotta get out of here, and she's like, "Yeah, get the fuck out." Or she didn't say get the fuck out, but she's like, "Yeah, leave."
Maybe
You
she's
know?
like, yeah.
And he kind of gave her a dirty look, like almost like.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think Howard is not Michelle's cup of tea, but I don't think it's like straight up hate. It's like more maybe an annoyance, but yeah.
I'm just digging a little too deep into it, trying to find.
No, I
something.
think you're right. I think you might be onto something there. We cut back to the cops. They're driving around looking for perp, and then right back to our main three. So it's like a really short, meaningless scene. Our main three, they're driving down a dark road, and they end up just hitting the perp with their car. Like just I don't know what it is. Hit the guy with the Volkswagen Bug. They get out of the car to check on him. John sees he's still alive. He bends down to help.
Does anybody else kind of get a little bit of I know what you did last
Yeah,
summer?
I thought about saying that, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna bring it up.
I'm
but
getting
yeah,
we got Re-animator. Now we got a little homage, maybe. Do I know what you did last summer?
Yeah, I did think of that, but I can't think that
I think there
anytime.
are definitely some.
I thought of it.
Yeah.
You
well,
thought
there
of
are
it.
definitely some. What are those called? The eggs.
Easter egg?
Yeah, Easter eggs throughout this whole movie of
Well,
different
maybe. I thought it was just a little
homages.
Yeah, a
if
little
you will, to
homage.
other-
Yeah.
Where was it? Oh, so John he gets to help to check on the guy, and as soon as he bends down to help, the perp, who has green liquid like pouring out of his mouth by this time, spits up more of it at John, who
Got, like,
quickly
a green-
scurries
his
away.
Face is
His-
also
yeah, his
kinda
face
green.
is
I think
discolored.
it's
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
Like, he's got a compound fracture. Did you notice that?
The
I
perp
didn't notice the compound.
he
fracture.
vomits up more green goo. He stands up groaning and making these various gross sounds. Well, he starts to fart, and the fart goes on and builds up and builds up.
and belches.
Yeah.
And then then he's like this nasty brown shit, like just falls out of his ass.
And he's just
well, clumps of something fall out, and then like liquid, just diarrhea, like
shitting himself.
Yes.
and then like about
farting.
a half gallon of like green chunky liquid
Yeah.
follows that up. And with that, once the green liquid comes out, the perp's like, that feels better. And then he just falls over dead.
Or is he dead?
Shits himself to death.
Yeah.
Because he's still breathing the entire time. He's laying on the fucking
Well,
ground.
that's funny. Like when they show the body, you can see he's breathing. The actor's breathing, but they tell Howard to check, and like Howard's like, yeah, he ain't breathing. He's dead. They even like see if he's dead. By the way, checking to see if he's dead is like kicking him in the gut.
I do because it's
Kick
great
him in
because
the gut, and then another fart
John
comes out.
As a nurse, I love this part because John's like slowly creeping towards him to check him, and Howard goes, "Come on, man, check his vitals. He may need CPR." And I'm like, that's a great idea. That's my nerdy nurse coming out. And he just walks over, and I'm like, he's going to check his neck. And he just kicks him in the stomach. And he goes, he's dead. And
As
I'm like,
a nurse, and you saw some shit like that happen, would you go and do
I'd fucking kick him in the stomach and say he's dead.
Yeah, would you do CPR?
Fuck no.
Donut?
Nah, I'm good. I got beer.
So they all pile back into the car and drive off again. We do a sweet wipe, like the old school wipe transition to the donut shop as dozens upon dozens of donuts are seen popping out of the fryer and rolling all around the back of the shop. Hearing the ruckus, Cliff enters. He leaves his office. He comes in, sees the donut army. The donuts all stop and turn to face Cliff, and they all leap at him, knock him down to the floor, and just killing him. You see blood spray up, and so Cliff is now dead, mauled to death by donuts.
Bulgarian women's.
Was it Bulgarian or something? But yeah, basically mail order bride.
Bulgarian mail order brides. Yeah.
He was about to get down.
Yeah, he was
unzipping that fucking sweatshirt.
Yeah, I thought he definitely looked like he was gonna jerk off. So we jump to the three bullies we just saw. They're hanging out along the side of the road again, because apparently that's all people do in this town, just hang out alongside a road.
Right? They just hang out in
Like,
rural
they don't
roads.
go back to somebody's house. Like, just let's go hang out outside the road.
Go bang in a rural road. Let's go eat donuts on a rural road. Let's
Yeah.
go just drive around with a perpetrator on a rural road.
Yeah, it's really weird.
My question was too, is like, Michelle's like, "Can you take me home?" And they're driving on these like hills, like dirt roads.
Yeah.
Like,
When
where
she
does she
goes,
live?
give her right
Yeah.
up. Where
How
exactly?
where does she
I
live?
thought that
what
too.
the- yeah.
Where the fuck did she live?
They're
Oz?
just cruising around.
She lives way the fuck out of the boonies, apparently.
And if he was gonna cruise around with her, fuck you, Wayne, or whatever her friend is. Like, get the fuck out
Howard.
of here. Howard, sorry, yes.
Yeah. So, anyway, the fat one grabs a donut. He eats it. Again, no one notices the green cloud of gas that puffs out of it, which to me just infuriates me so much. Conrad notices that donuts look a little freaky,
They move.
and that the Long John has the Long John has fangs coming
Yeah.
out the end of it. By the way, the donuts suddenly like turn in the box. Conrad jumps back, warning the others that donuts moved. That's when the fat one begins to fart, saying he doesn't feel so good. A donut leaps out of the box and in one swift bite just bites off Conrad's right hand.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Horrible. It's fucking horrible. It's like a fist.
Yeah.
It looks like this.
Yeah, it's like you just put
You
pull
can't
your,
even see
pull
this,
your,
I'm sorry, guys.
To
your
those who
hand.
can't see it, Chris just pulled his sweatshirt over his hand,
Yeah.
and it's just
Made a fist.
nothing over
Like a
it.
bloody stump right here. Like, oh.
I
Sorry.
don't know why I said for those who can't see. None of you can see.
Yeah, right.
It's not like we have video of this.
Hey, we'll take a picture of that. Put
There
it
we
on
go.
So at this point, the rest of the donuts have all leap out of the box. Bully 3 is freaking out, not knowing what's happening, and that's when the donuts begin to attack him as well. And one of the donuts vomits out a line of acidic vomit.
Well, Aaron said he liked the.
I do like the cream,
He does like the cream.
the hot cream.
Well, just
In
not
the
cream.
mouth.
Apparently, it hits Bully 3 right in the crotch and starts burning his junk. The
Some acidic cream.
fat bully begins to spray green liquid out of his ass as well as vomiting.
Oh, and
Yeah.
it's like a hose.
It is.
It's like he got a hose between his legs and it's just like.
Green.
Yeah, it
goo.
erupts like a goddamn geyser. Like
Yeah.
just a geyser shit erupts out of his ass and he
Like,
dies.
imagine him laying on his stomach, and it's like
shooting out his ass.
shooting
yeah.
out his ass.
Yeah. So he's dead. Conrad grunts out, "I hate donuts," as the donuts all pounce on him and the other bully, killing the other two.
Yeah.
They're all three of them are dead. We go back to our three amigos. They spot Bobby's car also pulled over to the side of the road somewhere, like we mentioned. They pull over as well to check it out. John walks up to the car. Out comes Bobby, zipping up his pants. Veronica gets out as well, demands to know what John's doing. And he's like, I can ask the same of you. What are you doing? And she's like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And John's like, are you breaking up with me? Hearing this, Michelle just throws her hands up in frustration, gets back in the car. She's like, fucking A. Veronica says, no, I'm not breaking up with you because we were never together. She calls him a joke and tells him that she's been fucking Bobby for months and that she's only used him for his money. John and Howard just get back in the car, drive off as Bobby and Veronica get back into Bobby's Camaro and start fucking
She
again.
makes a good point there. She's like, at least have the balls to say something, as he walks away. Like, you ain't even gotta call her a bitch. Do something. Like,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like
He's
he took
so
he's
distraught.
like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I don't know. I kind of see both sides of that. Like, just walk away. Just like, you're not worth my time anymore. And I'm just, you're done.
I can kind of see his point too, because if she's asking me to say something, I don't want to give the bitch the pleasure.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah. You're not gonna bait me into that.
Yeah, because that's what you want, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. You ain't get my $50 no more.
So next, John, Michelle, and Howard, they come across the dead bodies of the bullies along the side of the road, and they see the donuts are all bouncing around on the corpses. Some are still eating the bodies. Seeing this, they all realize that the donuts are now mutated into killer donuts.
And what do they think of? Who do they decide needs to be saved or warned?
Mrs. Scolari.
Mrs. Scolari?
Yeah.
Well,
That's who they think of?
Well, she's the only other one that got donuts that day. So
You don't think they go back to the donut shop and prevent any more donuts from being sold?
Well, if they don't.
Aaron.
No.
Slow down, Aaron.
Way too late.
Yeah. No. They gotta go get.
Sorry, guys.
Way too logical.
Yeah.
Too logical.
I actually had no problem with that logic. It's like, oh shit, Scolari, we gave her donuts. We gotta go get her because we know they had.
Where did the donuts come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't know all the. I don't know.
Here's the other
Never
thing:
mind.
they all had to get out of the car
Yeah, that was a weird
to
thing.
look at this killer donuts. You couldn't have seen that shit from the shitty Volkswagen.
I don't know.
I love that Volkswagen.
It was
I
a cool
loved it too.
Volkswagen.
I was
Yeah.
very
I don't know. It's
jealous
like
of
in
that
Jurassic
Volkswagen.
Park. They pull up, and the first time you see the dinosaurs, everybody's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, and
Alright,
you
well,
gotta
how
get out of that Jeep to look at them dinosaurs.
How about
If I saw a
fucking
bunch of killer donuts bounce around people, I'm like,
arguing over shotgun?
What?
Rex has been out there fucking doing.
yeah.
rock,
So, anyway, Howard does say, thank God they have such few customers, which I thought was kind of a funny little jab at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that they get back in the car and go find Miss Scarlari. But the donuts see them at this time, and they start bouncing and chasing after them as they drive off. There's like people just throwing donuts off camera.
And this happens a lot. It's just people off screen chucking donuts.
If it's not the CGI donuts, it's just people
Throwing
throwing
people
donuts.
just chucking, rolling them.
Probably
just-
bagels, honestly.
They're big. Yeah.
I wonder how many donuts they went through in the making of this movie. Like how much of the budget went to donuts?
That'd be a great trivia question.
I would love to find out. So they arrive at Mrs. Scolari's house. At this point, the next door neighbor hears them, and he's spying on them through the window with these big-ass binoculars as the kids furiously knock on the door and when was trying to get Mrs. Scolari's attention. They decide to go around back to find a way in. John lifts Michelle up so she can climb up a pillar and into the second-story window. So
super hot to me at this point.
She is super hot.
Super hot. To me
She's
at
so
this
hot.
point. Like, damn, she's like taking charge. She's
I know. Michelle is. I love Michelle in this movie. The neighbor wants his wife Martha to call the cops on the kids who we just saw break into Mrs. Scolari's house. Martha is played by softcore porn legend Christine Nijin. Later, I'm just gonna cover this now so we don't have to deal with it later. But at one point, shortly a little bit, she comes out dressed in this skimpy black leather dress with a whip. But her husband's like, "No, we're not doing Matrix tonight. Tonight's M Butterfly."
Which is what is M Butterfly?
Madam
Madam
Butterfly.
Butterfly. It's kind of erotica. It's a story. It's an older novel, but it's like it's kind of like, I don't know.
Isn't it also Asian influence?
I don't remember if it's Asian
I don't
influence or
know.
not, but I've never read it. But I don't want to say it's Victorian or not. But I want to say it's like a very early kind of like 50 Shades of
Erotica,
Grey.
yeah.
Like, it was a big, it was taboo and a big deal at the time. And
Well, good for him because like they have themes and she's down.
yeah. And
You got to keep it fresh in a marriage.
but
You
I love the
really
fact, again,
do.
like, they do, it's the contrast. Like, this guy's like this kind of overweight,
older,
like,
he's older.
older man, like kind of beer gut and all that. And she's like
So,
this
like,
skinny.
She was like a mail order. bride
Yeah,
at
like
that
she almost like
point.
she's the mail order bride, but she seems into it. Like there's
Yeah.
actually like she likes him or something like that.
Good for
down.
her.
Yeah,
He must have money.
good for them. Michelle finds Miss Scolari's dead body in the chair. Her torso is covered in blood and it's pretty much just been eaten away.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle screams. Hearing the screams, Howard and John break open the front door after a gag of like of tempered unbreakable glass. Which why this
they're
house
on the
would have
porch.
that would-
He finds a baseball,
It was
throws
pretty
it.
funny, yeah.
I got
It
a
was like-
hammer. It goes past John, hits Howard in the face. And he picks up a brick he's about to toss. He's like, "Stop!" So
I mean, it's not a bad gag.
It's a gag. Yeah.
It's funny, but I'm just giving it over. But I don't understand why this house, why this house would have like bulletproof tempered glass is a bit much.
At this point in the movie, we're like an hour in.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
You just let it go.
I just wanted to let it die.
Anyway, they break open the front door. They rush inside. They find Michelle, but as soon as they do, out come the donuts. The donuts line up in like this military formation.
They line up in formation.
and they have like this Mexican standoff.
Yeah, they're all standing there like with their hand twitching, like they're about to draw.
It's like the OK Corral.
but they don't
showdown.
have any guns.
No.
And mind you, there are 12 donuts.
At this point, we only see 12. Yeah.
No.
Well, they're supposed to only be 12 because she bought.
Yeah, because you only
Correct.
bought a dozen
Right.
donuts.
Correct. So there should be no other donuts in this house, correct?
That's a good
I
point.
totally agree.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a great point for what's
Thank
about
you.
Finally, the donuts attack. Michelle, John, and Howard do their best to fight off the donuts, and this, like what Chris was about to say, leads to Chris' point. There are way more than 12. There's like dozens upon dozens
Countless
of donuts.
donuts.
Countless just being, and not even just like thrown in like we were talking before, but it's like CGI.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
CGI.
a
bouncing up.
cloud of fucking donuts just constant, and they're just like, oh god, what do we do? Oh my god.
There's
Yeah.
punching
They're
in
like
the
punching
air.
air. Yeah. Michelle runs upstairs, barricades
Yeah, I
herself
was a
into
little
a
pissed
room.
off at this time because they're all fighting together.
Yeah.
He stood up for you when the bullies came, and you go take off upstairs and lock yourself in a room?
He told her to go upstairs.
Oh, I missed that part.
He did.
I
He's
missed
like,
that part.
Go,
Okay.
He's like,
go.
run, get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. I missed that part.
Yeah.
Right. So she
Trying to
barricaded
protect the
herself in a
woman.
room.
Which is ridiculous. Running upstairs instead
yep.
of out the fucking door, right?
That's true. They probably should have run out
Sounds
the
like
door.
our theme song.
Sure does.
John and Howard run to the
that.
kitchen to arm themselves. The donuts follow them, continuing their relentless assault. Officers Rogers and Hammerstein now arrive at Miss Scolari's house. They find Michelle hanging out of a second-story window, just kind of dangling there. After a back and forth with the cops, she drops to the ground while inside John and Howard are still fighting.
She's hanging out the second story window.
Yeah, she's just hanging out there.
There's concrete below her. They're saying
And God love her, she is. There is no way that girl is going to, I don't think, hold herself that long.
regardless,
Hanging out the
even,
window.
but she
Yeah,
fucking
maybe adrenaline, but
drops like a ton of bricks.
It's fucking, oh my god.
flat on her back too. She lands
Like,
flat on her back.
How is she not horribly injured?
Yeah,
No, she would be.
She's just like, the ground broke my fault. She's just like, oh, ow.
She's being like a smartass, which is like her whole,
Yeah.
throughout the whole
she's
fucking
kind of like the rocker punk, kind of punk,
she's
smart
a smart ass.
chick,
Yeah,
she's a
throughout
smart
the
ass.
movie, she's like, I don't know, the ground broke my fall, motherfucker. It's just like,
But
he's
I
like
love
holding a gun at her, like,
Put your hands
up. How the fuck do you want me to do that? You know what I mean?
Put your hands up and don't move.
But
But I love it, like that image of her falling.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I was saying
It's
It's like they throw a mannequin out the
That's
window.
exactly what they did. They
But it
just
was-
threw
it-
dumb-
it
But
worked.
I love it.
Yeah.
It works in this movie.
Yeah, it did.
So, I just lost myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that earlier.
Me too.
All right. So anyway, John and Howard decide they're still fine. The two of them decide that they have to get out of the house, and so they run out of the house. But the cops are like, "Hey, freeze!" And Rogers even like takes a blind shot, almost hitting John in the head with a bullet, but misses.
He must have been working on those days from Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Dead Eye.
Wolverines.
Wolverine!
And
Thank
so
you.
the cops out, and while the cops are busy, with our three amigo pals here, several of the donuts we see leave the house. They roll out down the steps. They leave.
Yes, the whole dozen.
The original dozen. John tells the cops
Not
that
mentioning the one that got blown up in the microwave that we totally skipped
or the one in the
over,
freezer.
Yes.
Or the one that got rolled over with a rolling pin.
Yeah, I'm not going to call.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to talk about
saying.
every single donut kill we see.
No, I know, but there were supposed to only 12. And
You're right. No, I totally agree with you.
I'm upset about that. Obviously.
Officer Rogers asks, like, hey, what's going on? What happened? Michelle follows up saying, you wouldn't believe us if we told you. Basically, she sometimes ends up saying, like, there's 10 murderers in the house. They're still in there. Hammer's like, there's 10 murderers in there. We got to go. We got to get in there. So he rushes into the house, followed by Rogers. The donuts that left the house now steal the cop car and drive off. So you have one donut on the pedals, another one's on the steering wheel, and they all drive off in a stolen cop car.
Yep. That shit happens.
Ay, caramba.
Ay, caramba.
Inside Rogers and Hammerstein, they are bombarded by the killer donuts, which even though we just saw 12 of them leave, there's like hundreds
of donuts.
Yeah.
And they just quickly get overwhelmed. They try to fight back. They're shooting wildly at donuts, but they just overmatch and they quickly scatter.
Well, as soon as they walk in the house, she's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Both the guys are like, they told us to stay here. We can't go anywhere.
Do you always do what you're told?
Yeah.
Yes! I like that response.
Yeah.
So he's like, yes!
Yeah.
I'm like,
And all of a sudden
okay.
the gunfire starts going off, and then John's like, okay, let's go.
They get back in John's car. They race off. Back to the neighbor's house, Martha comes stumbling out of the bedroom with two donuts, one on each side of her head. She looking like Princess Leia.
Right.
She drops to her knees in front of her husband, screaming. She falls to the floor dead.
Her ears fall.
Her,
she pulls out her ears.
Like her ears are. I'm often like this, like stringy, like bloody, fleshy stuff.
Martha, what's wrong with you, woman? It's not Star Wars night.
Yeah, it's not Star Wars night. What's wrong with you? Yeah. And that's when a donut spits out another line of acidic acid at him.
Yeah, right in his eyes.
Or, of course, acidic acid at him, hitting him right in the eyes. His eyes are burnt out of his skull.
Right.
Like instantaneously.
Yeah.
He collapses dead.
I guess. Would you count that as a death?
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
He's dead. His eyes were burnt out of
We
his
don't
skull.
really see what happens to him.
I'm
We don't
assuming
know.
he's dead. And even if he's not, the donuts are going to eat him.
Change scene real quick.
It does. Yeah, as soon as he falls to the ground, we go right back to the car. Howard is asking what would cause these donuts to come to life and kill people. And that's the ding,
Bing!
light bulb in
Yeah.
John's head goes off, and he realizes that his Uncle Luther must be involved.
He whips that sweet.
Oh, yeah.
around.
Quick 180. They head off to
That's
find
probably
Luther.
a 3-point turn,
Yeah.
realistically. But I'm pretty sure the turn radius wasn't that great.
We cut back to Bobby's car where Bobby and Veronica are still fucking. Up pulls the stolen cop car.
Yes.
Bobby rolls down the window and wham! Gets hit right in the head by a flying fanged Long John. The Long John burrows into Bobby's forehead like a fucking sperm penetrating an egg. Veronica screams,
Just
gets
waiting on
out of
that
the
joke.
car, and she's chased around the car by several donuts until they finally catch up with her. They leap up on her, knocking her to the ground, where they kill her, and we just see a geyser of blood spraying up from behind the car.
I love
Yeah.
her trotting
Yes.
around the car.
That was awesome. Yes, she got those
the wedges.
The
Wedges.
wedges. Yes, the wedges. And she's like,
And she's slowly high stepping as these little donuts are bouncing on her
Like
trail.
ankle biters. We cut back to Luther in his lab. John Michelle Howard bursts in, tell Luther what happened. Luther tells him that he's already created the antidote.
first of all, how dare you enter my lair when it's locked?
So I just finally remembered his fucking name, Herbert West from Re-animator.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Herbert West. He seems age appropriate. He seems like he'd be about this age. Is this Herbert West?
I mean-
and he changed his name to Luther?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I say he's not age. Herbert was much younger in the movies, but
Well,
I
yeah,
see-
but he could be
now. He was
now. Yeah, maybe this is Herbert West in the future.
he just changed his name.
in like rural California.
Love it.
You know?
Love it.
What do you think? Huh?
Could be.
Could be.
I didn't see Re-animator. I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So we get a scene of the two cops now. They're on a bike, like a kid's bike, riding through the town. Trying
Oh yeah, on pegs.
on pegs. One's on pegs, one's pegs, and they're trying to track down their stolen cop car on a bike.
You know what
I do
Sarah,
love
you know what
the
Sarah
use-
said? These motherfuckers can walk faster than they're riding this bike.
Yeah,
I do love the use of pegs, though.
I do. Yeah, the pegs.
You remember being a kid?
Oh yeah.
Pegs were the coolest thing. I never had a bike. I always wanted pegs on my bike, but I never had one that had.
You never
pegs
had a
on it.
Dyno GT?
No.
I had a bike. I had a bike
Diamondback or.
that I added pegs to, and in order to put the pegs on, I had to remove the nut.
Yeah.
That actually held the.
And it acts as the nut, the peg. Right.
But you got to make sure you tighten that fucking nut down tight.
Keep the wheel on.
Had that problem. Had that problem.
While I'm riding?
Yes. I fucking the chain gone, and I'm like riding. And here we go. Whoop, whoop, over the handlebars. Bike comes over with me. I'm dragging my head down the fucking street. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Shit happened. Shit happened. Luckily, I was about 15 at the time, so that bike just went away. I got my license, and I'm about, real quick.
My
here.
license in 3 months.
Yeah,
Fuck that bike.
Yeah. Pretty much, that's what happened.
Dude, I totally got rid of my. I had a sweet ass 7 geared Trek bike. Like my parents bought it for me. Like it was like $500. It was a really good bike. It was for junior high graduation. I had it for not even 2 full years. As soon as I got my license, garbage. It's just garbage.
I got handed down a dyno.
Yeah.
Fucking dyno.
Yeah.
Finally got a dyno.
Right?
Never had one. Finally got one.
I was so jealous
Hand
of
me
the people,
down.
like the Dinos and the Diamondbacks. And I
Right
wanted
when
one
I'm
so
like-
bad. Never got it.
Dude, right when I got my license, I had my license, but I didn't have a car yet, so I had this dyno. As soon as I got my car,
Yeah.
throw it away, Dad. I don't care. Fuck, I would kill to have that bike right now.
Pretty sweet. I would
Seriously.
ride on the pegs. I'm a little bigger than you are. I would give you a ride on the pegs.
All right. All right. Instead of a bike to help teach my kid how to ride a bike. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Anyway.
Moving
so-
on, sorry.
Going off on a childhood tangent.
Meanwhile, Luther gives John 3 large vials filled with this pink-colored antidote. Luther tells him to inject it into the donut's bloodstream. However, Howard has some problems with this, and I'm glad they called this. Actually, I'm so glad they wrote this in the movie. Mainly because donuts don't have a bloodstream if they're made of dough, not organs and skin. But he does say that if they should splash on the donuts with the antidote, it should penetrate the outer layers and soak into the dough. So, all right, cool. I'm glad they wrote that in. That
a
makes
little explanation.
that makes at least some sense.
Does it work, though?
They head back to the donut shop, which is ground zero, to fight the donuts. Luther goes with him this time. They arrive at the shop armed themselves with stuff from John's trunk, like a tennis racket, a hockey stick, and Howard has a fucking super soaker. And Luther,
I knew there was gonna be a fucking super soaker in there. Before it even opened up, I was like, "There's gonna be a goddamn squirt gun or something."
Also known
Sure
as
enough,
the Jason mask.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's like, "Do you play roller hockey?"
and Luther makes like this like makeshift spear with like this giant syringe duct tape to the end of like a broomstick or something. They rush into the back of the donut shop.
I really like the part. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I really like that. Like, she starts out with the tennis racket, and like John's got the
Hockey stick.
and she's like, pfft. She hits him.
Takes the hockey stick.
She takes the hockey
Does anybody
stick.
else knows the hockey stick is for a
It's
child?
It's a very
It's
small
for a
hockey stick,
child.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I actually rather have a tennis racket. It's got a wider area of
he's
Impact,
surface
yeah.
area, and you can like whack them away. That hockey stick, man, you swing that around. The donuts are small, man. You have a better
Yeah.
chance of hitting them away with
Yeah.
that tennis racket.
I don't know. I got
Anyway.
faith in her.
So,
thank her brunettes.
You are not the Price is Right. You are blah, 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 blah.
the wheel for the price. They rush into the back of the donut shop, find out the donuts. They make their way to the front of the shop, which is now completely overrun with killer donuts. I mean, hundreds of donuts are just bouncing around and flying all over this place.
It's like a swarm of bees.
It's like a tornado of donuts,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's
They're just
They must have just
swirling.
been
a tsunami of donuts.
How are you making that many donuts? I mean, are they just making donuts on their own now? Because they did kill already. They killed Cliff, right?
Well,
so were they just like
The
creating
one
themselves?
donut was popping donuts out of the fryer. But the problem is,
There's not
once
enough
you run
dough
out,
in the
exactly
fryer.
the dough. Like how much? Once you gotta make the dough. You gotta make.
How does this? Yeah, it's.
Did they
it's,
figure out how to make?
But
Reproduce?
again,
It's
we're
like-
arguing
it's
this over
it's like you
Attack
said
of the
earlier,
Killer
it's like Gremlins.
Donuts.
It's like fucking Gremlins
Yeah.
earlier when you
Yeah.
brought that up earlier. Fucking
Do you get them
Gremlins.
wet? Do they just make
Make
more?
make
Yeah.
more.
You dug them in milk? Did they just come
I
around?
agree with you, but I totally agree with you. The logic doesn't follow, but I didn't
This
care.
is Killer
I
Donuts.
didn't care. This is one movie where I didn't care about this stuff.
It did bother me though.
They charge out wildly into the donuts, swinging and shooting the super soaker. We see one donut explode from getting hit with the antidote into like blocky Tetris pieces or something. It's really weird the way the donuts explode.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Luther says the antidote works, but they don't have enough of it, so he tells John that he has to leave to go back to the lab to make more. So off goes Luther.
Didn't Howard join him? Didn't Howard go?
No,
with
no,
him?
not no. Howard.
Okay.
Now the homeless guy just walks in the front door. He's like,
No,
"Hey, what's up?"
He walks out of the bathroom.
Oh, it's the bathroom. Okay. And he's like, "Oh," and he just leaps and he just joins in the fray.
He grabs a knife and he just like randomly like swinging.
Getting overrun and swarmed by the donuts. Howard yells at John that they are not going to make it, and he has something he has to tell him. Howard tells John that he's in love with his mom, to which Michelle says, I knew it. Howard goes on to say that he had sex with his mother. At this point, we have the screeching record stop moment where
The donuts all drop.
everyone, even the
Everything
donuts,
stops.
everyone comes to a freezing halt. Even the donuts is crashing around and turn and look at Howard.
Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah. Howard continues on saying that John's mom is a kind, beautiful, sexually liberated woman, and he tells John to tell his mom that he loves her, and then he rushes outside to get the donuts that have gotten away. They have slipped out of the donut shop, so I'm going to cut them off, make sure they don't get any further. So out goes Howard. Michelle, John, and Luther, who's gone, but for some reason I thought I saw him there, they run for a closet, leaving the homeless man to fend for himself at this point.
He's just like randomly just like flinging this knife, and I don't think the donuts actually started back up.
I don't know. I don't remember. But in comes Rogers and Hammerstein. They start shooting up the place. Donuts explode from getting hit by the bullets. But Hammerstein is quickly neutralized by a sprinkle to the eye. Rogers calls man down, and Hammerstein's like, oh, my eye. And the two of them die for cover. In the back, John and Michelle, they try to regroup and come up with a plan. John starts having this mental breakdown, ranting about being blind to Veronica and her demon ways. Howard fucking his mom, killer donuts, and his crazy uncle.
He's starting to lose it.
He's losing it, and Michelle just snaps him out of it by giving him a kiss, just full on kissing him.
Finally.
This is not now. Okay. Okay, fine. She gives him a kiss, but it's like me kissing you on the lips. It's like I can just go, mwah! Like a Bugs Bunny kiss.
Yeah, it's not a real passionate, deep kiss.
There's no passion, there's no love, there's no feeling in it. It's literally just a mwah, like something you could do to anyone.
Right.
I
agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that.
I just wish that was.
Yeah.
I wish there was a little more.
Yeah.
Boom to it.
Yeah, there should have been more impact for Chris was about to say. I think it's first.
I think
kiss.
this is the first time on Horrible Horror I'm talking about the impact of a kiss.
It might be. But hey, but it needs. I agree. It's a great point.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
I want to know your opinion on what happens next, though.
Oh, okay.
They decide that the only way to be sure to kill all the donuts is to blow up the donut shop. Up front, the cops have run out of bullets, and they realize that they're overmatched. So they're like, you know what? We're gonna go down. We're going down fighting. They pull out their nightsticks and they charge into the swarm of donuts, screaming. They manage to take out a few donuts, but they're quickly
they're
swarmed.
overwhelmed.
But they're quickly just swarmed, taken down. At this point, we go back to the back where John breaks open one of the gas lines. Michelle asks him how they're supposed to survive this explosion. John's like, hey, I'm still working on that part. But she opens a closet door or something, and there's just this hole in the floor.
This is where I'm at.
Which I'm like,
what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It's like caution tape.
Yeah.
But you don't see what's. It's almost like I thought they're gonna get inside a freezer or something.
I thought same too. I thought doing Indiana Jones or or someone was Indiana Jones or somebody survived a nuclear explosion in a
Indiana
fridge.
Jones.
Yeah, just get inside the fridge.
Because it was a lead-lined refrigerator.
Thank you.
Which blew him.
Hold on.
Having a crystal skull.
Everyone knows it.
Fuck you guys in the crystal skull, dude.
Oh,
Don't you ever bring that up in my presence again. Both you motherfuckers. I love you guys. Sorry.
Okay, easy. Go on.
Don't ever bring that up again. How did they get? Because they end up in a fucking.
We'll come up. Yeah, where they come? I agree. I agree with you though. They open this door and there's this just hole in the ground. There is this yellow caution tape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I did say earlier that Cliff is a cheap ass, so maybe there's some broken
they did
part
keep
of this.
saying, dude, the whole movie, this
Yeah.
stinks in here.
Plus, they did say he's cheap. He cuts corners. If there's some way he could get around doing these repairs or access to, sewer or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's weird. It's just a whole.
I was
ground.
okay
Either
with
way
this.
they climb into this. Yeah.
Yeah. John. They find the hole. Michelle climbs down into the hole. John ignites the gas from the lighter, dives into the hole after her. Up front, we see the homeless guy sitting on the floor, leaning up against the wall with a few donuts just latched onto him. He says he takes a sniff. He's like, "Hey, who farted?" And then the donut shop just explodes in a massive ball of fire. It's a massive fucking explosion.
It's a big explosion.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Blackout.
I felt bad for the homeless guy.
Yeah, I did too. Fade in on the cop cars. Pulling up to the flaming rubble pile that was the donut shop.
Donuts on fire.
Yeah, we see a manhole cover open up under some rubble, and out climbs John and Michelle. And this might be what Chris has a problem with.
I did, yeah, because I wasn't sure what they were getting into.
Yeah, it doesn't. I agree. It doesn't look like they're climbing into a sewer.
Right.
It just looks like a hole in the ground. Like
you don't even know where they're at. Are they in the back room? Or are they in the basement of the?
yeah, it's the thing.
place?
You don't even know.
You know what I mean?
assumed it was like the back because they never mentioned the place
Right.
has a basement. It doesn't look like it would have a basement.
That's what I'm saying. If it was in the basement, then it would make more sense. That they
Right.
Were coming
I
out
thought it
of
was
the
just like
sewer.
the back, like a back.
Right.
Guys, I'm okay with this. I'm very okay with this.
So, looking around, they see the burning remains of the shop and flaming donuts all over the ground, like donuts rolling around on fire. We also see a charred, yet somehow still alive, homeless guy who now has a toilet seat around his neck, lying in the rubble.
Coughing.
I was alright with it.
So I was like,
At this point in the movie,
yeah, I get it,
Yeah.
but it's like, he'd be dead. John and Michelle kiss in slow motion as romantic music plays.
Which was another awkward kiss.
Yeah, but this one's better than that first kiss.
A little bit better, but
Fade to black. We fade back in on John in his bed, just like we did at the opening of the movie. Michelle pops up from under the covers. They talk about what happened last night.
Holy shit! And it is a long.
It is. This is a very
Holy
long closing
fuck.
scene. They talk about last night and their future as a couple.
And another awkward fucking.
During this conversation, we learn that Howard is in the hospital with minor burns, but that he also somehow lost a testicle during his fight with the donut. So I'm guessing the donut bit off one of his balls.
poor. I would have liked to have seen that.
Did that? They should have shown.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd have been a great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just a budget thing. Who knows? But that would have been a great. They should have shown that.
Yeah.
They should have shown
That's
that.
easy to do. Just put a donut on his dick and have him go scream. Ah!
Yeah,
You
there you
know?
go. Good point. So John and Michelle, they start making out again, and they're about to have sex. But that's when John's mom bursts in.
John's hot mom.
Michelle hides under the covers, but the mom orders John to go cut the grass this instant, and start trying to pull the covers off of him. Michelle pops up with saying, "Hey, I'm here. He's with me."
And this is where it should be a scene from Pornhub. Right here. This is.
Yeah,
This should be.
mom and
Yes.
daughter fuck.
That should be the scene right there. I was
Wow.
like, yes.
Well, Michelle,
I would say
let me
if
show
it-
you how my son likes it.
yes.
If it was stepmom, you definitely for sure. Not, but mom,
Yeah.
that's a bit much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it was stepmother, oh, then fuck yeah. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
straight out Pornhub.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, I've seen this setup before.
Oh, that's too funny. Anyway, so seeing Michelle, the mom kind of she kind of backs off a bit. She's
I
happy.
didn't know
to
he
see-
had company.
Yeah,
she's,
yeah.
she's actually
Can
really
I join
happy.
you?
twirl her hair a little bit.
Oh hell no!
Jesus Christ. She's happy to see John and Michelle are finally together as a couple. The mom leaves them alone. Michelle says that his mom is going to go cheer up Howard at the hospital. A little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, Michelle's like, I bet she is.
Yeah. The two of them get back under the covers to start fooling around. And that's when the camera pans over to the window and we see a killer donut leap up onto the windowsill.
And it's the same donut from the hippie guys.
Is it the hippie
Yeah,
donut?
because it got the bite out of it.
Did it have a bite out of it?
It had
Yeah.
a bite out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was the hippie
It would-
guys fucking.
That's a good point because that's the one donut that we never see get killed. It
Never
wasn't a
got-
donut
yeah,
shop.
yeah.
That good catch on that one, Chris. Great
Did
catch.
you like that?
Anyway, blackout, roll credits. At the end of the credits, there's another very quick scene of the homeless man in the burning rubble pile. Yeah, he's like medic because he's like a war vet. And then that's it. So that my Moon Goon friends is Attack of the Killer Donuts.
God help us.
With that, let's move on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right, favorite kills. Again, not a lot of variety here. It's a cheesy movie. So it's not a real bloody or gory, but I know what mine is, and I think I might. Chris, I have a feeling Chris might pick the same one. I just have this feeling. But Aaron, even you might pick this one too. I don't know. But Aaron, what's your favorite kill?
My favorite kill is Bobby. It's the long john that comes flying out of nowhere that goes burrowing into a skull. It's the only one that actual impact. The only one that may actually give this a horror feel. It's the only one that you can actually see. A lot of our kills are off screen,
right? Or behind
behind something you see blood splat out from the side. So that's my favorite kill.
Okay, Chris, what you got?
I'm gonna go against the favorite kill. I'm going to go with my favorite death, which is the convict that shits himself to death.
That's good.
I mean, come on. He comes out. He gets hit by the fucking car.
Well, he does die by donut, so I guess the donut
technically,
didn't kill him.
Okay,
yeah,
so
but yeah, go on.
Yeah. So he gets hit by the car. He flies over the car. They're doing the whole back and forth. Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? He stands up. He's fucking obviously zombified, and they make a big deal about it. Is he a zombie? What's going on here? And he stands up and he shits out this fucking putrefied fucking green fart, right?
Yeah.
And then not only dumps out his guts, but then like a pile of fucking
weird poo.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, that feels better. And then rolls over dead. Like, that was fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. And this whole movie, I wish I was stoned because I feel like I would have enjoyed it 10 times more.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see it being stoned.
That was my favorite kill.
Well, I was wrong. I had it backwards. My favorite kill as well was Bobby. The long john drilled into the forehead was my favorite one as well, for the exact same reasons that Aaron said.
Gentlemen, that was a close second.
Yeah, you know what's funny? My close second was yours. Yeah. It was the same thing. I was like, well, it's not quite a kill, so I didn't quite go. But you're right. It's like a death. Right. But yeah, that was my favorite too.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. That's it for that. Let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
Now, odds and ends next week is going to go real quick. Ratings, we have IMDb gives it a 3.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it has no official thermometer score yet, but it has a 58% audience score.
Wow.
On Amazon, it has a 4 out of 5 on Amazon. And this is one of the first
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, and this is one of the first times that there are 0 one-star reviews for this movie on Amazon.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Now, unfortunately, plot keywords and trivia, none. There are 0 for both of those. Also, I could not find the budget for this movie, sadly.
Bummer.
Yeah, so like I said, it goes straight. We go right through.
If I would have guessed, geez, maybe we can get some information from somebody. I don't know, but my guess would be you actually had some actors and people who could actually act. You had a decent cast,
but you didn't really have any like. Steve Thomas Howell was your biggest name actor. I mean, I looked at some of the actors. There wasn't a lot of TV, a lot of this and that. You know what I mean? And the CGI was probably the biggest effect.
I would go $500,000.
Wow.
I don't think I'd go that high.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm thinking like 50 to 75,000.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say 50.
I'm so bad at this game anyway. So.
It doesn't matter. We could all be wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, we could be completely wrong.
If you find out later, let us know.
Oh yeah, definitely. But anyway,
But you're at 75 and I'm at 50, so don't fucking.
Don't you forget it.
Okay. All right. All right. That said, let's move on to 5-star reviews.
Marsh is all serious.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
5-star reviews.
5-star reviews. I have 3 of them. From Lynn W. Hilarious. An excellent fun movie. Even my picky hubby liked it. Discreetly gory. The donuts are smart and cunning. Great movie for B-horror fans with a sense of humor. 5 stars. And from R. McBride. This movie was so ridiculous, it's glorious. I had an absolute blast watching it. 5 stars. And the last one from Kevin Avia. Attack of the Killer Donuts is jam-packed with over-the-top special effects and comical body humor. And I'm like, I don't know about but the premise of the film, which includes the work of a mad scientist, really sets it up for an entertaining freak experiment gone wrong. I cannot sugarcoat how much laughter this film battered out of me when the gang got together to cream these maniacal donuts. If you enjoyed the other self-aware movies like Sharknado or Birdemic, which I don't think Birdemic was self-aware, you definitely do not want to miss this.
How many donut puns?
5 stars.
How many donut puns can you put into review? I appreciate the effort, but come on.
I'm the other way. I love the donut puns in that review. I think that was great.
You got a silly smile on your face. I wish people could see that.
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to get to it.
But that's it. Like I said, it went real quick this week. There wasn't a whole lot of information. And it's still rubbish news, so there's not a whole lot of reviews. So let's just start wrapping it up. See, I'm not
Was
the
that
only
you?
one now. That was not me.
We're just belching through this whole thing.
Jesus. Oh, we're so gross.
Well, watch the movie and you understand.
Yeah, well, it kind of fits with the movie.
It
With all
does
the,
fit. It
all
does
the
fit.
belching and farting in it, I'll tell you.
Let's wrap this up with our final thoughts and reviews, comments. Chris, why don't you take it away?
Well, I gotta say, I actually enjoyed a lot of the goofs. I enjoyed a lot of the funny banter they tried to do. It lacked a lot on the horror end.
I will agree.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Like there was nothing scary. There was even the CGI or whatever for the actual donuts or whatever. Like when you actually saw them up front, like they weren't scary at all. They were funny.
They're donuts with teeth.
Yeah, there was like
Or fangs.
no fear here. So as funny as it was, and as much as it's a decent watch, I mean, it's not terrible. But for $4, I don't know. I don't know if I'd rent it again, So I gotta go so bad it's scary.
Oh, okay. Aaron.
I kind of agree with everything you just said, Chris.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no horror in it, but at the same time, it is called Attack of the Killer Donuts. I mean, they're letting you know up front this is not going to be a serious, scary movie. So you already know that going in. But there's no gore, horror, boobs, anything. The babes, blood, booze.
Right.
Our 4 Bs are nothing's there. None of our 4 Bs are ever there. Yes, they have girls. Some of them are cute.
There. I mean, that would have been.
Babes, blood, boobs, and booze. Yeah, I mean, there's just none of that's there. Yes, there's cute girls. Yes, there's good-looking people. But there's blood, but it's not like the kind of blood we like. Yes, there's no booze. It's just, but it's fun. It's a fun movie. It seems like this is a movie that a 14-year-old or 13-year-old, maybe a 12-year-old would say, what if donuts came to life and attacked people? And someone said, you know what, I'm going to make a fucking movie out of that. And they did.
I told my 7-year-old that he's like that far away from watching this movie.
Exactly. This is like the first horror movie you should watch with your kid. Like a bad horror movie you would watch with your kid. In some ways, I'm really on the fence with it because I liked it because of it's very babies versus horror movie, or a teenager's exposure to like the campy side of horror, the fun, silly,
the term I like to use is the Fisher Price horror.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, but it also has a certain B element, a B movie quality to it because it still has elements of the 4 Bs. I mean, you have a girl in a bra, you have like good-looking girls. You have some blood. It seems it's like
CGI blood.
Yeah, but I'm torn, guys. I'm really torn. I'm gonna have to. But for horrible horror, would I watch it again? I'm probably gonna say no. I'm on the fence. But I enjoyed. I really had so much fun.
All right, God damn it!
I had so much fun talking about it. It was a blast talking about it. All right. Watch it with your kids if you have kids.
Jesus Christ.
So bad it's good. So bad it's good.
Wow.
Just barely.
God damn. Pulling teeth, man.
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's so campy and ridiculous.
I've been there though with the decision. Like it's sometimes.
All right.
It's hard.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I watched it. No.
I will agree with a lot of what you guys said, but I am on the other side of the fence. Just like you say, oh, it's not horror. But look at movies like we did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, kind of the same thing, cheesy, not real gory, comical, and then there's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is a cult classic, which is technically kind of along the same line.
You cannot compare this movie to Killer Clowns. Please stop.
Or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, because that was like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was the first of its kind. That's why it's so like epic. That's why it's such a cult classic.
But I'm saying it's.
Nope.
Hey, it's my opinion. Fuck you. Turn
my mic off then. Turn my mic off.
I know we got to let him talk. We got to let him talk.
I had fun watching it. I watched it twice. I thought the acting for this movie was spot on. I thought it was great. It was just the right amount of over the top and the right amount of cheesiness, and still the right amount of they took it seriously enough to make it work. The effects, yeah, they're cheesy, but it's supposed to be. It's a killer donut. I don't know about the whole kid thinking it'd be funny, like killer donut thing, but I don't know. You guys, Aaron rambled on long enough, so I'm not going to. I think it's so bad it's good. I think it's worth a watch. I thought it was fun and enjoyable, regardless of it's horror-esque. It's in the horror genre. But there's a lot of movies that aren't necessarily like. I'm sorry, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is hard to call horror because I mean it's not. It's the same campy cheesiness. Yeah, they're clowns killing people, but it wasn't scary.
It depends on who you ask, because people are fucking scared of clowns.
That's true, but these I give you that. But
they were scary, spooky-looking clowns.
Sarah Samples, I'd like you to chime in.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
She would give you the business on this. Anyway,
I would love to hear that argument actually.
And okay, well let's talk about Leprechaun. It's considered a horror
you're
movie.
welcome.
The first Leprechaun is not scary at all.
You say it's so bad it's good, and
I say
again, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun watch, but it just wasn't horror. It wasn't like it was, so it's all good.
Well, you could argue what makes horror. Well, we could. Like I said, Leprechaun is considered horror, and that movie is not.
You guys should put a Twitter poll out there.
Yeah, if people have to watch this movie first, but Leprechaun is not a scary movie either at all, and especially the sequels. They lean more towards trying to make comedies and stuff, but they're still considered horror. But I don't know. Anyway, I say so bad it's good. It's worth the watch. It's fun. I think Michelle is awesome in this movie. She's, I think, the best character in the movie.
Yeah. And she's super
by far. She's super hot. She's the best character.
You guys keep going on it. She's really good looking, but easy, guys. Calm down.
Man, I got a thing for brunettes, all right? What can I say?
Okay.
All right. That's all right. So we'll wrap it up now, guys. We're going to wrap it. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back. We'll be back soon with another horror movie.
Next week? Huh?
Hopefully next week.
Can I pick the movie? Because, this one was...
I actually have the movie already picked out. I think you guys might be... It's, I don't know. I'll talk to you guys about it off air.
Giggling like a moron over here.
So we'll be back with another movie.
You know what's funny? You pepped up. You don't look like Rip Van Winkle anymore.
Yeah.
You got like blood in your face now. You got color. You look happy.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I end the show?
Donuts.
Let me end this. Let me end the show.
All right.
So, guys, in the meantime, till we're back, watch more horror movies. Remember to always keep it tight.
Peace.